James Bond news, guys. Are we all fans here?
I don't understand the power grab from Amazon to get that whole thing, and I get it that he didn't like Barbara Broccoli. I don't know where they were headed with it though before they got bought out.
Well, yeah. So yeah, they were. MGM, Amazon MGM Studios bought out Eon for control of the James Bond franchise because after Daniel Craig, they just didn't really have, I think, the momentum to go on. They're all older now, and they've done so much. But yeah, Amazon was basically like, so they became partners because of this buyout that initially was Amazon buying MGM. So they became instant partners of the Bond franchise, basically. So they would throw a bunch of ideas at the Eon Productions, and they just shot it down. I think they wanted a Moneypenny spinoff and a female 007, which they kind of played with the last movie.
I actually like how they did that in the last movie.
I didn't mind that.
It wasn't bad
because he was dead. So it's like, okay, that's cool.
And I liked how they kept playing off the fact that he's like, I'm 007, and she's like, I'm 007.
My main concern though is the track record that Amazon has so far. They took over the Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah,
and I haven't seen it, so I can't say, but it hasn't been well received.
Oh, that new TV show that they were running with,
and that's the only thing that they have to their
Wheel
name
of
so
Time,
far.
I think, is another one that I think it's been a hit or miss. I've not seen any of those.
And it's not to say it probably won't work. It's just I have apprehension because that is a hell of a name to take on.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to put people in place that have production knowledge that are very well versed in the whole series. I mean, you can't go changing things overnight on this,
right?
I think it's going to be. You've got a fan base that goes back years.
Well, yeah, Eon crafted this from the start, back in '62, and they produced 25 Bond films, and so they were obviously hit and misses, but it was always, I think, treated with a lot of respect. And with the Amazon buyout, it's very easy, I think, for them to be like, let's make this like a MCU verse of films. And I think that's definitely, Eon did not want to do that, and that was another falling out. And Barbara Broccoli basically said in an article that the Amazon execs were fucking idiots. So when Bezos got word of this, he's like, I don't care how much it's going to take, we're going to buy her out. Let's just buy her out. So for $1 billion, they bought him out. That's how they gained control of the Bond franchise. And I think it's like good and bad. Like, the good is, I think we'll finally get another Bond soon. But the bad is it's always, all these films have always been about balance. And they either go to the extreme or they get very serious. And it's always about balancing. And I don't know if Amazon can do that, especially with the CG quality. I don't know.
They've got the money to do it. The problem is
they got to hire the right people.
You got to hire the right people, and what I liked about the Craig version so much is that it was down to earth and practical. I mean, they didn't make it like a Pierce Brosnan.
He didn't shoot lasers at his watch.
Yeah, it was more like this guy that kind of got thrust into it and then had to figure things out, and then they kind of reintroduced characters slowly. So M, going away and stuff like that, and then they had Q come in. And I think that was the third movie when they finally had Q.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, they really did and took their time with it.
They tried something new, but I think they deconstructed them too much. And I think, when you see a Bond movie, you want escapism. And the Casino Royale was a really good film.
That's the pinnacle.
I love the best one. Yeah. But he got, after that, I think, very mopey and just not uncharacteristic.
Yeah, he was because even Skyfall, I think, was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But he was so
But he quit. He got shot and he
he was
quit.
so again, like you said, mopey. He was woe is me.
Yeah, there was no drive anymore.
And Spectre, they all were the same. They all looked great.
Spectre is the only one I don't even think I ever watched all the way through, so I just got bored with it.
Yeah, it wasted opportunity. And then they tried to basically connect everything together.
I didn't like that either. One of the things I liked about the old Bond movies is just how disconnected they were.
Yeah.
So it could be Dr. No or Thunderball. Any of them could have been your first James Bond movie.
Yeah.
And you would have but you watch Quantum of Solace, but you've never seen Casino Royale. You have no fucking idea what's going on.
That was the first direct sequel to a Bond movie ever.
Yeah. And
that was a gamble at the time.
They were all connected in some way. And I think that was a mistake, was to try and connect them like that.
Right.
Yeah,
I
agree
think that
with
works better. And I got to be honest, I've only read maybe a Bond novel.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell you if they're all connected or if they're all independent or.
Well, that's the beauty.
I mean,
of
the
it.
only thing that is connected is that he's James Bond,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's it.
And
What, to the Bond novels, you mean, or what?
Yeah, I mean, there was never. I mean, the only carryovers were Moneypenny, M, and Q, and that was it. I mean,
Felix was Felix in novels?
Felix Lister, I don't know. Felix was definitely in the originals. He was played by a white guy, and I can't remember who he ended up getting played by. Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright played him in
Great.
the remake.
He was good.
Great remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like what they did to him at the very end there.
Unceremoniously just killed off.
Yeah.
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 That's terrible.
I'm worried
I mean,
that
yeah, it's got a weird history because they've recasted Felix a lot in the movies. But
Why was it the because when I first started like paying attention to like Felix, or I was like, Felix Leiter's really cool, and then I
Yeah.
watched License to Kill,
that
where he
was
gets eaten by a
brutal.
shark, and I was like,
yeah.
what's happened?
I mean,
He's
you
like
know.
eaten by a shark and then wrapped up and laid on a couch, and I was like, ooh, this is brutal.
But that's the beauty of what they could do with like going forward with stories. Like you could go back and actually most of the movies deviated a lot from the books.
Oh yeah.
So you could definitely like and there's a lot of things in those books that are very like,
Maybe that's what made Austin Powers so good, though. They never carried anything over except for
Mini Me. And
Mini Me and what's his face? I can't even think of it right now.
Dr.
Fat
Evil.
Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they always had a new guy like Fat Bastard, or they had the gold guy, or
Gold
Yeah.
member.
Yep, gold member.
member.
Yeah, and that was if they would have kept
Smoking a
going.
pancake.
Smoking a pancake.
Fat
Bonging a
Bastard was the
blintz?
best, though.
If they would have kept going with those, I think Eon told Myers or whoever produced those films that would be the last time they would copy like a Bond name like that. So basically, if they would have
gotcha.
made another, because it was very on the nose, and basically Mike Myers did a parody of Bond in a way. But yeah, that was the idea they stole from the Bond films. Was he'd have another lady each film. Actually, Dr. No and From Russia with Love, they did have a carryover lady.
But they always
Yeah.
get killed off, or they become evil in some way.
Yeah, well, no, this one never was, but you never saw her again. But so I mean, they, just a little history here. The Eon, like I said, Eon produced all these films from the inception, based off of Ian Fleming's books. And they were like 2 to 3 years apart. It was really nice growing up, and then obviously you had gaps between Dalton's run and Brosnan's, and then Craig's. Craig got high in demand, and so that's the bad thing. Is like a lot of people say Henry Cavill, which I agree, but he is high in demand too, and you're gonna get a movie like every 5 years unless he signs for like a multi-picture deal.
Yeah.
But
Get
can you
him,
imagine,
Yeah.
though, like a stacked Bond? Like, it would seem a little weird. He needs to
Well,
be
Craig
little...
was the first to kind of be that way.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he was
Yeah,
like...
well, Craig was pretty
short.
slight. I would say.
He was lean,
Pierce
though.
Brosnan, though. He was,
but George Lazenby was pretty
oh,
stacked.
That's
and
true.
his movie's underrated.
And he was
that's a good Bond movie.
You know what?
Is it?
It's one I didn't appreciate as a kid, but as an adult, I like
Right.
it a lot better.
Oh, I remember
Yeah.
the video store seeing like, who the fuck's this guy?
Yeah.
It's like this looks like
George
amateur.
Lazenby.
Yeah.
But so like Eon from its inception, Albert Cubby Broccoli produced from 62 to 95. He died in 96, and actually his family brought broccoli to the United States. So
Really?
that's how you get the name broccoli. Harry Saltzman also produced from 62.
Hold on.
What?
Is that real? Or is that?
It's true.
Okay.
It's true.
And the broccoli haircut.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how
Broccoli
I
farts.
lost my hair. Yeah.
It goes to show you what I say, because I've always said their names like broccoli, like
I like
spicoli.
that better, yeah.
Yeah.
Like spicoli. Yeah.
But now I'm gonna start calling the vegetable broccoli.
Totally.
Some broccoli with melted
They
cheese.
actually... No, wait. They actually brought broccoli.
Yeah. His family brought it to United
That
States.
delicious green thing that you put a lot of cheddar cheese on.
Yeah.
Did they call it broccoli where they brought it from, or
No,
did we call it?
I think they got to name it because they discovered it and they brought it to United States.
I gotta
like when you-
discover something.
It's only,
I want
it's when you
Snoke.
discover.
Yeah. All right.
I want to snoop this.
No.
It's
I'm not
true.
saying I don't believe you.
It's
I'm just
true.
curious.
Yeah, no, it's like when you find a meat eater, you get to name it whatever the fuck you want.
So you're saying broccoli comes from outer space?
Well, no, that was a different type of comparison.
It's a
but-
space MacGuffin.
Yeah,
Like
Space
adamantium.
MacGuffin. Hold on.
Or are we taking a Wikipedia break? Okay.
I think
hold on.
everybody
No.
is. Seems
No,
like it.
I'm not.
Oh, broccoli seeds were introduced into America by by Thomas Jefferson.
Genus Brassica.
Are you sure?
I mean, that's what Dr. Google says, so it could be wrong.
I don't know. I swear.
I like
heard
it. I like what you said.
Where-
I mean, cut out what I say and just leave it in there.
No,
that. I'll
no.
do my research.
Let's
but-
leave all of this in because this is gold.
Yeah,
this is
no,
podcasting
wait,
gold.
wait. Now, what was his name?
On
Frank
today's
Broccoli?
episode,
Cubby
we talk
broccoli.
about
Cubby?
Albert.
Oh, Albert?
Albert Broccoli.
the word broccoli, first used in the 17th century, comes from the Italian plural of broccolo, which means the flowering crest of a cabbage, and is the diminutive form of bracco, meaning small nail or sprout.
Aw. But wait,
Fucking sources,
I
Josh.
swear
God.
that was true.
Did Albert Broccoli invent broccoli? No, Albert Broccoli did not invent
Not
broccoli.
invent.
While the Broccoli family, known for producing James Bond films, claims their ancestors developed the modern form
Yeah,
of
see?
broccoli by crossing cauliflower and a rabe?
Yeah.
What the fuck's a rabe?
all right, hold on. I'll go down that
Something
hole.
you're not allowed to do.
The
with
vegetable
Sorry.
itself originated in the Mediterranean region and has been cultivated for centuries. The family story is contested by many. So they might claim... What is that, kale?
That's like a cross. I mean, there's a lot of lettuce leaf,
Yeah. Anyway,
very little seed.
the family claims they did,
Okay.
but they're full of shit.
I got it from the documentary, so
No, I don't. see
they
it
lied
wrong.
to me.
And I mean, they can claim that, I guess, because she does have like $1 billion more than me now after
That's
getting bought
true.
out by Amazon.
Hey, I'll look into it. I will definitely put up something saying I'm wrong.
If you produce like all 3,500 Bond films, you can call broccoli whatever the fuck you want.
You know?
But yeah, Harry Saltzman, he produced along with Cubby from 62 to 75. He sold his stake, and then Barbara Broccoli and her half brother Michael G. Wilson, they produced since the 70s. So they were the ones in charge before this buyout went through. But yeah, Timothy Dalton, who was Bond from 87 to 89, he was also almost in the George Lazenby movie, but he was too young at the time. They actually eyed him, but they're like, yeah, he's too young.
I think you
like
have to go with the
18.
young. If you want to get a good 6-7 movies out of a James Bond, you got to go young.
Yeah.
Like 20s, though.
Oh,
Probably,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah, that was the mistake with Dan Craig because they wanted kind of the origin film, but he was
Yeah.
at that time already 50.
He was already 50.
Well, no, I don't know. I don't think he was already 50 then.
That's impressive.
He was
He was
close.
pushing it.
He was like in his 40s. I know he was
was pushing
it.
Bond. Yeah.
Glow.
All right.
I gotta-
How old
Well,
was
we're
Dan
gonna-
Craig?
myself. I gotta
How old
redeem
was Dan
myself.
Craig?
Well, no, we're
when
going to
he
have to check
played
the
in
sources
Casino Royale?
now because
Early
you lied to
40s.
us about broccoli. Fucker.
Your favorite vegetable.
It is, actually.
Is it?
Ugh,
You
gross.
fucking lied to me.
gross.
No, they lied to all of us.
How
38 years old.
old?
Okay. All right, he was 38 when he played James Bond first.
I'm already older than Daniel
when he
Craig.
played James
I'm
Bond.
When he
redeemed.
played
When he
Thank
played
you.
James
All right.
Bond.
So I was wrong about that, but I still think you got to go younger than 38.
George
Yeah,
Lazenby
yeah.
was 30.
Correct.
Yep.
Yep.
That's better.
Yeah.
Now let's dial it down. Let's go like 25.
I'd say start at 25.
Yeah. Like kind of like, like Taron Egerton when he played in the Kingsman type
Yeah.
age.
Yeah.
See, I don't want, if with Amazon, with these Bond films, I want it to be more like the Mission Impossible ones now, but obviously with Bond in tow, I think that's a lot better than, that's a nice balance to me. I don't want them to get to Kingsman ridiculous levels,
No.
but Kingsman is good on its own.
The problem, though, that I have with Amazon being involved is I don't see them using all their money to make it better.
Right.
I see them pushing it out there to try and make money.
I think they're going to exploit
But
the
I
shit
think
out
they've
of
got
it.
the-
That's my fear.
I think they've got the ability to do some things really well. Like,
Oh, I do too.
as an
but-
example, the Jack Ryan stuff.
Yeah.
Is Fallout them too?
Fallout
Amazon
is
Prime, but I don't.
Yeah,
Well,
It's
still
on
them, though.
Amazon Prime, but
Right,
they're
but
not.
I think they produced.
I think
that
they
shit,
produced it,
too.
Oh, okay.
and
I think so.
the boys too.
Yeah.
Boys, yeah.
So there's some things that they
Okay.
do
They've
have the
done-
ability to do really well.
Yeah.
They've
you
done
mentioned like the
gr-
Lord of the Rings thing.
That's the one that I know that they spent the most amount
on,
of money.
Right. But
that's-
film wise,
you're right.
they don't have a good track
The Boys,
record, I don't
yeah.
think. But yeah, Timothy Dalton, to go back to Timothy Dalton, he was saddened and concerned about the news, very surprised and shocked. He said it's one of the best pieces of British entertainment. It's a fine series. He watched them, when he was young, and yeah, huge part of all our lives. And he just said, Barbara is like fantastic, best in the world, and just has respect and admiration to the Eon family and wishes them the best. And then Brosnan, he was actually the first Bond, I think, to be fired. Or no, Lazenby, I think, was the first one to be fired.
Yeah.
Because he didn't. Lazenby got into the hippie craze and grew his hair long and had a beard, and he wanted. I think he wasn't going to shave it.
No.
Yeah, he didn't want to be that type of suave guy.
Which that is bananas to me. To like,
he regrets it too.
Turn down a role in a franchise.
Well, he got obsessed with this guru guy, and he just basically did what he said.
That was his one movie he ever did, and he never did another movie after that.
And he was he lied his way to the top too.
Oh,
He was just just a model. Yeah. That was it. But he actually kicked ass in real life. Like he was in lots of bar fights. So I think he actually punched some stuntmen by accident.
Oh, probably.
A little too hard.
Those fight scenes were fucking
me.
awesome.
Yeah.
They don't. They hold up pretty well. But Pierce Brosnan, he said Eon had great courage to sell it to Amazon. Hope Amazon handles the franchise with dignity and imagination and respect. He's very proud of the history and legacy of Bond, and the films that he made with them. The deal will come with certain lament. Some talent are no longer interested. Probably they don't want to work with Bezos or Amazon.
I don't know. I mean, like anything, the right amount of money will bring people back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The only thing I don't want to see is like James Bond become this like ultra weird guy where he's like, "Can I touch you?" and then he,
Right.
and then has relations with a woman or something.
I don't want
like
his
that.
wife. I don't want Bezos.
I don't want my Bond asking for consent.
Yeah.
No.
Bond doesn't ask for consent; he just takes it.
Up the ass.
I wouldn't mind seeing like Brosnan come back as like a new M or something.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
That'd
Have
be
you
all right.
seen? Someone just did like some photos with him by Aston Martin, and it looks so cool. He's just like a veteran Bond looking, just leaning up against it.
He's one guy that's aged extremely well.
Oh yeah, better than all the Bonds, really.
Yeah.
I'd say. And I wish he could have had one more film, but I
Well,
think.
Dude, his films got so
well,
goofy.
it wasn't his fault.
They
though.
got
That's the
campy, and then
problem.
9/11 happened, and then there was a tonal shift in the world.
Yeah.
But the Martin Campbell ones,
Yeah.
GoldenEye,
GoldenEye
was
sure.
his first, and then
it
Casino
devolves.
Royale.
It devolves to Merry Christmas, played
Yeah.
by Denise
Yeah.
Richards,
Tomorrow
who's
Never Dies
portraying
started
a
going
nuclear
down.
physicist.
Yeah, Tomorrow Never Dies really honored the whole Bond world, and then after that, the third one kind of got a little bit more serious, and but they had the weird names, and then Die Another Day was just
Have Sean Bean come back and be M.
That'd be cool.
you could. I mean, you could totally do that.
006.
Think I'll die another day.
Oh, that movie, that song. That's the worst Bond song. What about Billie Eilish or whatever her stupid name is?
where
Billie
she
Eilish?
whispers.
Her song was good, but it was fucking mopey, just like Craig's Run.
Which one
most
was
of
that?
it.
Which
That
I
was
don't
the
know.
last
She's just
one.
like.
Well, her
What the
music
hell?
is just definitely it's unique.
She's talented, but for a Bond song, like, let's get into this movie. Like,
The
why are
problem
we
that I've always
fucking
had with
crying
her
here?
is
Yeah.
that she can actually sing,
Yeah.
but she doesn't want to.
She doesn't project
No.
at all.
Yeah.
It's like if I were to take this microphone and move it this far away and now try to say something, that's
Yeah.
that's
No, I think you should. That's a good idea. You should keep that.
yeah. Are you calling me a truck driver, sir?
No.
Why? Okay, name it. What's a Billie Eilish song?
Oh god.
The Barbie
Bad
song.
Guy?
Yeah.
That was like in every
Bad guy.
fucking trailer
Yeah.
for like 10 years.
Oh, the one from Brightburn.
I'm a bad guy.
Yeah, okay.
That's why they made that movie, right?
Yeah.
The Bad Guys
Sure.
cartoon movie they did.
Sure.
I think the first one I heard that song was at the end of Brightburn. I was like, oh, that's a cool
Yeah.
song.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's awesome for Pierce to be kind to them because he got let go, and again, it wasn't his fault. His movie, that last movie was bad. He made
Was
no
that
question,
with
but-
Halle Berry? That the last one? Okay.
They were gonna do a Jinx spinoff back then. She won the Oscar after that, but that's why I fear now. Like, fuck, we're gonna get a Jinx spinoff.
Did she win the Oscar for
Monsters Ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. She
But
got-
not Swordfish.
No.
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 But she showed more.
She
in
should
Monsters
have.
Ball.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
you also got the phrase "make me feel good."
That was the clip they played.
Halle Berry for Monsters Ball.
Congratulations.
That would be, when they're
Feel
showing like
good.
the clips for the Oscar potential.
Oh God.
Make me feel good.
I just fast forward to the future in memoriam. That's
Yeah.
the clip they play when she passed.
Oh, dude. Okay, so imagine this: Monsters Ball, right? Guess who's in prison? That's her husband. P Diddy's her husband in
Foreshadowing.
prison and gets
Oh,
killed.
man.
Yeah.
Well, we're not there yet, but He probably slides around too easily with all that baby oil.
He's a slippery guy, that's for sure.
But yeah, Amazon CEO said, this is not Jeff Bezos, they're aiming to take great care of this franchise. Bond will remain male and British. Did you know back in the day, Burt Reynolds got offered the part, supposedly?
I can't see him doing the British accent.
Oh, no, I don't
think he would have. He would have done his... yeah.
James Brolin we were talking about, he actually... There's an audition on one of the... I think it was Octopussy's DVD extras. There's an audition of him and Sam Neill. It's wild because James Brolin, he's not rocking English accent either.
Well, neither is Sam Neill. He's like New Zealand. He's a New Zealander.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, are they going to go back to the roots though, where Bond's a tall, slender, black-haired individual, kind of suave? I mean,
yeah, because I remember when Craig got cast. I mean, even I was like, "What the fuck is?"
A lot of people were pissed because he was the first.
But he won me over with that movie, Casino Royale.
Style, blonde.
Because he looked like a Red Grant. He looked like the opposite. You know. Opinions. Do you think, I don't know, you think the franchise should just kind of stay dead for a bit? Where should Bond go from here? Like remake the books, adapt them properly, maybe a series? Or what's your ideal Bond actor and movie?
Done well and you get somebody to make the films that has the passion for it, kind of like Favreau did for Mandalorian.
Yeah. Iron Man as well, right?
Yeah. I'd still love to see Idris Elba take a turn at it before he gets
again we're talking about somebody who's pushing 50
but again like you said he's getting up there.
I think Idris Elba would have been a fantastic Bond 20 years ago when The Wire came out.
That's the problem. A lot of those great ideas but Cavill still could do it. He's probably what, almost 40 now.
I think if you want to get as much mileage as you can out of a Bond, you got to go to someone who is relatively young and not famous, that you can get cheaply.
And have a great
something
contract.
You can use as like kind of a vehicle for.
Connery was that way. He wasn't famous at all, but then he got pissed about not getting paid as much when it got popular.
I love how he left and then he came back for one more movie
after.
Never Say Never.
Because Lazenby got hippie-ish, and that's why.
Well, and Never Say Never was made by a different production studio.
Too. So yes, that is not part of the Eon.
That was
Bond. But no. So actually, Never Say Never is a remake of Thunderball.
Yes,
because Kevin McClory got like the rights to do that film. And it's really a complicated like mess, really.
It's a long story.
Yes, but no, Connery came back and did Diamonds Are Forever.
Yes,
and he was bloated, and he aged so much from 62 to like 69. Like he looks like, I don't know, he just didn't age well at all.
Which is kind of an ironic title, since Diamonds Are Forever, but Sean Connery as James Bond was not.
No,
right, and then come back to say Never Say Never. Yeah. But yeah, there's been a few other Bond films. There's been 2 other Bond films. They actually did Casino Royale back in the 60s, but it was
that the Woody Allen movie?
Yes. But again, it was not Eon. It was not Eon. It was done, I think that was done for laughs because of...
It was definitely tried to be a comedy, but it was not good at all.
Yeah.
But they also did a television adaptation, American version, with Jimmy Bond. I'm not kidding.
Jimmy Bond.
Well, and let's not forget about James Bond Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I loved that as a kid.
Oh, that was awesome.
I used to think, hey, let's make a movie. Now I'm like, no, but maybe Amazon will do that. I don't know.
James Bond Jr.
Who was the lady that in the last movie, Anna de Armas? What was her name of her character?
I don't know, but she was a great.
She'd be
part
a
of
really
that
good
film.
spin-off. I mean, you didn't have to call it under the Bond series, but just like her own spin-off would be pretty good.
Although she's got Ballerina coming out.
When is that coming out? That thing's been in production.
No, there's a
forever.
preview. There's already a trailer out. It's coming. Yeah.
The trailer
They
looks pretty dope.
They have filmed it finally.
Is John Wick finally going to be in it, or is
in it?
He has a cameo. He's even
Yeah.
got a cameo in the trailer, so that's not really a spoiler.
Right.
I'll be damned.
Yeah,
Okay.
check it out. But yeah, she'll probably be too busy. But funny thing is, they did Knives Out together, and Craig was like, "Hey, you want to come, do a cameo in this Bond film?" And I think that's how it kind of
Oh, no
came
kidding.
to be. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
that was a great.
Her action scenes were really good.
Yeah, like a lot of that story I didn't like, but it's beautifully directed, and yeah, that action scene was amazing.
You started getting into it, and then she had to go, and you're like, oh, fuck. Yeah.
Now Bond's crying again. God damn it.
No, he's gonna blow himself up.
I don't know. They didn't have a real good Bond girl in that last one.
No.
That's
Well, and
just
that's
me,
the other
though.
thing.
That's a horrible thing to say.
You know what? If you wanted him to to be declared dead in the film, just cut away, you know, because the fans can be like, you know what, he got out of it, or maybe he didn't. You know, it's kind of like a Sopranos ending. You know,
I wasn't so much of a fan of the fact that his name was James Bond, because I always thought that was just a code name that they gave in the Secret Service.
Yeah,
no,
right.
Because everyone would have to have the same backstory. You know, target the ones who had their parents killed in an avalanche, and
I mean,
yeah. No, I know. There is that fan theory. That only explains the different actors, really. You know, but the franchise overall has been kind of rebooted here and there. Obviously, Craig's was a big reboot. Like it was like, let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Do you think it should stay a film franchise and no series?
I wouldn't do it.
I
as a
think
series.
so.
No side character series. You think?
No.
Because that's the problem.
that's where I'm thinking Amazon's going.
Well, yeah, but who gives a shit about a Moneypenny series? Like, she's a fucking receptionist. Like, who cares?
If you go off of the Craig run, she had a backstory as an agent, but she decided to, just do that. But that's the problem. Like, once you do that, like, try to make her character more than just a secretary, you got to use her. Well, no, I mean, that's what she was before. But what I'm saying is,
Harming secretaries all over the place. She's just a secretary.
Josh, your misogyny is showing.
no, but I'm saying once you
I have dreams, damn it.
once you introduce an action element and the actress is like a bigger actress, so it's like, okay, we got to include her all the time, like in these shootouts and shit. And like Moneypenny wasn't that way. She was just you know, they would flirt. That's about it. And
Although though, it does make sense as to why she was a desk clerk, because she did shoot James Bond in the chest, and then he disappeared
ran away
for a while. Yeah.
Went onto an island to fight
Just a shit
scorpions.
shot, and
Right.
Yep.
But yeah, what's your favorite Bond and film, if you could think of one? Narrow it down.
Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a really good one. It's pretty solid. Chris Cornell song.
Oh,
I was
Loved it, man. I was so ready after I saw that.
big fan. I like the older stuff, like You Only Live Twice, Thunderball, Moonraker. I love
it's
all
so
that older
weird
shit.
though. You watch like the old Sean Connery ones, and there's like periods where there's no music. It's just him walking around hiding and all that stuff, and you realize how much movies have changed. Like you always have to have some sort of sound in the background.
The scenery, because I think back then it's like it was our first time going.
And I
to
think
all
that's
these
a problem with a lot of the movies now, because it was really jarring to me when I was watching Captain America: Brave New World.
Yeah.
Because every scene's got like this like really annoying music in it.
Yeah.
And it drove me absolutely fucking nuts by the end of it.
Yeah.
There was none of those like quiet moments